Into all fours now, onto your hands and onto your knees. And you're going to stretch the leg out on the left side as you're rocking forwards and backwards on the sole of the foot. And maybe gently lift that leg up and away. The opposite arm just gently searches out. Gaze just ahead of you towards the mat. Nothing too crazy there. Tiger pose. The hand comes down, the nose draws towards the knee. And you stretch that leg out again. Find the sole of the foot. A gentle kneeling side angle. We'll come back to centre now. Just work on the other side. Brilliant. So the other leg stretches away. You stretch the toes, quiet neck. Raise that leg up, not forcing anything. Keep the hips level and the gentle gesture of the other arm. Gentle length and space. The hand comes down. You draw the nose towards that knee. Stretch the leg away. Maybe finding the sole of that foot and reaching the other arm up. Just like we just did in standing into that side angle pose. Listen to that breath. And then coming down with the hand, brilliant work. Untuck the toes, draw the bottom towards the heel. And then lift that heart, that gaze and tracing through. You can work with up cat if you want to, or work within this upward dog. And then into downward dog again. So unraveling, 2 breaths here, steady toes. Let's work on the other side, doing fantastically. And then step the left foot forwards. Find the back foot steady, coming up ever so steadily. And then willow the same arm as the back leg around, so you're working into the warrior 2. You see I'm adjusting the foot just so I can see the toes ahead of me, knee in line, and I'm using my sense of sight so I have a sense of where I am in space, and working and breathing in that warrior 1. Back leg strong and steady, calm and steady footprints. 2 breaths here. And then we bring the movement, don't we? So we're going to breathe in, straighten the front leg, palms touch. Breathe out, the gaze moves across that front knee again. Breathing in, lifting through the heart space, palms gently touch, quiet jaw, and the out breath again. And the in breath, searching out a stretch, and the out breath. 2 breaths back within this warrior 2. Breathe in, straighten the leg, palms ahead of you, a little clap. Breathing out, and they open out again. Breathing in, palms together, breathing out. Final time, breathing in, steady footprints, breathing out. Fantastic. 2 breaths here. And then breathing in, you can see those palms just gently touching behind you, and back to centre. Breathing in, palms behind, breathing out, back to centre. Breathing in, palms behind, breathing out. 2 breaths here within that warrior 2. And then the back hand settles, turning through the heart space. Gentle reverse warrior. We're not collapsing, we're just creating that length and that space, a gentle gaze, soft palm. 2 breaths here. See how the breath fills you and leaves you. Back to the warrior 2. Take 2 more breaths here. And the hand, the front hand just gently settles with the palm uppermost. You're lowering the other arm, you're sweeping it across and up into that extended side angle pose, reaching with that ring finger, long and steady with the back foot, calm and steady in the footprints. Breathing here, 2 more breaths. And then out into that warrior 2. Final time here. Take 2 more breaths. And can you turn that back foot steadily to that you can reach up with the ring fingers, have a sense of lightening and softening, and then willowing forward back to a downward dog. Stepping back brilliantly, the last downward dog, so take those breaths with you. And your next in-breath, take the knees down to the floor, quietly and steadily. And take the toes towards you and the knees out again if you want to work within that frog's leg pose. So, do you know, however you want to take this, quietening down. So, have a listen in. Swan pose. You can take the arms back into that lower back if you want to, or palms uppermost, whatever works. A gentle rock from side to side if you want to. See how the breath is received in and out through the body. Quiet jaw, just listening. 2 more breaths here. Lovely. And then take the hands forwards, and we're going to come into lying for the last aspect. Brilliant work. And come into lying, come onto our backs, ever so quietly and steadily, drawing down to the floor. And invite you first of all to draw the knees in towards your chest. Hug those knees in and have a little bit of a rock from side to side. Soft hands on top of the knees. Soft hands on top of the knees. And then cross the ankles. Take the arms gently out to your side. Shoulder distance or a little bit lower. And then maybe search out a little bit of a spiral. Rolling around into that lower back. Search out a spiral, a circle there. And then gently have a hug in. So you've still got the ankles crossed. You can take hold of the feet or the outside of the shins, whatever works. You can have a curl up if you want to. Settling that head down to the floor and shake out the legs. Shaking out and hanging out there. And then cross the knees the other way. Arms quietly out to the sides. Drawing down on that core, that navel area just below the belly button, and using it as a way to have a little bit of a massage into the lower back, the sacrum, the lumbar. And then have a hug in, and unravel those legs and shake them up towards the ceiling. And then cross the ankles again and maybe have a zigzag. So be playful with a little bit of a zigzag as you zigzag further away. Take the knees further away from you, have a listen in, take care. And then can you zigzag back to centre, uncross the legs and recross the other way and have a bit of a zigzag. Another way of just massaging down into the lower back and into the spine. Excellent. We'll unravel the legs now and we'll take the knees and the feet wide and do some hip circles. Another one, just like the cat pose that I'd always do and take as part of my practice to really take care of the hips. Take your breath with you and then have a shake out of the legs. Brilliant. And then knees bend and the footprints are on the floor. Take an in-breath to stretch the arms up above your head towards the floor behind. Out-breath draws the right knee in towards your chest and gently rock from side to side again. Easing out. Interlink the hands behind that thigh, the other knee's bent. Stretch the leg up and search out a circle of that ankle. Take your breath with you. How big can this movement be? Quietening through the face. One way and then the other. And then bend that knee in and stretch the other leg along the floor. Curl up nose towards the knee. And then stretch away with both legs. Steady fingertips. And you're going to bend the knees. We'll work on the other side. So quieten the footprints. Hug the left knee in towards your chest. Have a bit of a rock from side to side. Stretch that leg up, interlinking. Back of the neck long. Circling round into that ankle one way and then the other, just listening in. And then hugging that knee in towards the chest. Slide the other leg away if it's useful to you. Curl up nose towards the knee and then stretch the arms up above your head, searching out space through the fingertips. Lower the hands and hug that first knee in towards your chest. And if you want to, you can stretch that leg up, pointing and flexing the toes, back of the neck long, pointing and flexing into that ankle. Take it carefully, 2 breaths here. And then hug that knee in, curl up nose towards the knee, search out a stretch away, and then hug the other knee in. The other knee, the ankle leg can always be bent, can't it? And curl up nose towards the knee, settling the head, have a stretch up, pointing and stretching out through the back of the leg and the ankle, quietening through the jaw, eyes soft, softening through the gaze. And hug that knee in towards your chest, curling up, and then stretch away. Wriggling through the fingers and the toes, we're going to bend the knees and take it into reclined cobbler's pose. So the footprints come together. You can have support of cushions outside the hips if you want to. You're going to stretch the arms up, link the thumbs perhaps, quieten through the elbows and breathing. So reclined cobbler's pose. So have a sense of the stretch in the inner thighs, the wings of the hips opening, the wings of the shoulder girdle, the shoulder blades opening, quietening and feeling that contact point of the outer edge of the shoulder blades to the floor. The connection of the hinge joints, the elbows and the knees opening out within this open shape, softening through the fingers and through the toes. 2 breaths here. And then gently lower the hands, draw the knees back to centre, quiet hug in, and then a stretch away to work in Shavasana at the end. So lengthening and stretching out space and stretch whatever shape you want to be in, however you want to organise yourself. Finding your place, settling through the body. Invite an in-breath, and the out-breath turns the head one way. Massage through the back of the skull and the neck, in-breath back to centre. Out-breath gently taking the neck the other way. In-breath back to centre. And once more on both sides. Be curious about the range of movement in the neck today. The contact of the massage at the back of the skull against the floor. The in-breath takes you back to centre and quietening as you need to. Allow your breath to move in and move out. And come back to that sense of grounding. Feel the contact points of your body along the floor. Softening and broadening into the contact points of the body. And then become aware of life, of the breath, filling you and leaving you, moving in and moving out. And you might even take a few deeper breaths and a sigh out through the mouth. Letting go and releasing. Take one more big sigh with your out breath. And then come back to that sense of compassion towards yourself. Loving kindness. Wish yourself happiness and joy. And extend it out to people within your household. Out to the people that you can reach, perhaps virtually in this lockdown, out in the world. Wishing people happiness, wishing people to be well and safe. And staying with that sense while I just read a little poem at the end. So resting within Shavasana, while I just read a little poem at the end. It's called Not Everything is Cancelled. Sun is not cancelled. Spring is not cancelled. Relationships are not cancelled. Love is not cancelled. Reading is not cancelled. Devotion is not cancelled. Music is not cancelled. Imagination is not cancelled. Kindness is not cancelled. Conversations are not cancelled. And hope is not cancelled. So thank you for practicing with me today.